Hello gang, back again for the story of Odin's injury part 2. I have to tell you, I have to share this with you. I know a lot of you like some of my stories. This one will really get you. Now in the last video, I talked about how he hurt himself and I had to take him to the emergency hospital, and then his wound got infected and I had to take him back. And then they gave him back to me and I had to take care of him. And in the meantime, he's got this cone on his head for 6 weeks or 7 weeks or 8 weeks. And he's going to the vet all the time. And I don't know, I can't control him. He's not listening. He's jumping, he's pulling, and he's biting. And I can't stop him from trying to bite me. He's trying to hump me. We're going to have him neutered here in a few weeks, but we haven't had him neutered yet. I was hoping I could breed him, but that's not going to happen either. He's got all that testosterone going on, and you know how I hate testosterone. He is trying to hump me all the time, and then he's trying to bite me. He's trying to climb up on me. He's scratching me. You know, every day I got another 3-inch gash on my arm that's bleeding, and I talked about that in another video too. You know, my skin is not, you know, what it used to be due to HRT. It's not as tough as it used to be. So I take him to this wonderful, great obedience school that a couple people recommended. They said, Rachel, you got to take him down there and they're going to fix him up for you. I said, okay. Well, this place, they train police dogs, okay, and civilian dogs. But that's their reputation. They built their bones on training, tactical training, you know, like Belgian Malinois and German Shepherds and all that stuff. So I take him down there, and I walk him up, and they're gonna give me a free evaluation. And I walk him up to the young girl, and she's gonna evaluate him. And he jumps up, and I pull back on the leash, and he rears up, and she steps back, and she says, "He's not gonna bite me, is he?" And I said, "Probably not, no, hasn't bitten anyone yet." And it struck me as strange because he's been to the vet every other day now, you know, he's been to the emergency room, and everybody calls me on the phone because of COVID, you can't go in, so they call you on the phone out in your car and they tell you, wow, he's a rambunctious young dog, and oh my gosh, this dog's got a lot of heart, and oh wow, this dog's got to be a real handful, and no one ever said, is he going to bite us? So I take him to the hotshot dog obedience trainer, and the first words out of her mouth are, he's not going to bite me, is he? And I go, apparently she can't tell that he's a rambunctious active young man, and he's just a real handful. She thinks he's going to bite her. So I go, no, he's not going to bite you. And she says, what is it you're looking for? And I said, well, he hurt himself. And she notices right away the scar and the tissue and the stitches on the inside of his leg. And she says, what's this? What's this? And I told her what the injury was. He was chasing another dog. I said, yeah, we have another dog at home. And Angus ran by him. And he was tied on I was out on a tether, and I was 30 feet away. And she says, oh, you have another dog? There's another dog involved in this? And I go, yeah. A lot of people have more than one dog. And she says, oh, this is going to be it's going to be tough. She says, you can't bring him here for like a group time. And I said, okay. No, I wanted to. She says, and she interrupts me again, and she says, I would recommend 3 weeks in-house, 24/7 here, boarding and training with the same trainer, and all consistent. And we're talking, this dog is a hot mess, by the way. And I go, a hot mess, okay. And she put a pinch collar on him right then and there. We put a pinch collar on him, and she was controlling him. And he started to pull away from her, and she jerked him and lifted his front legs off the ground. And I thought, wow, pretty strong, neat little girl. And now he's standing there because he never had a pinch collar on before. And he goes, you know, okay, you got my attention. And she says, yeah, this dog is just a nervous wreck. I don't even know if we're going to be able to fix him. And I go, okay. She says, it's $675 a week, and we can't even see him until October. We're booked up all the way until October. And I said, okay. And she said, I'm recommending 3 weeks. And I go, I heard you the first time. And she said, do you understand how much that's going to cost? And then I got mad. And I said, I'm 59 years old. I've had 3 mortgages. I bankrolled 2 kids' colleges. And now I have a dog that's cost me $5,000 since the day I brought him home in medical bills. I know exactly what $2,000 is. I'm not 13, and I'm not trying to buy a go-kart. And you're not my mom. So, you want him in October? And she looked at me and she said, well, we could take him in October. And I said, I have a list of goals I would like to read to you. And maybe you could tell me if you think they are possible. And she looked me in the eye and said, why would I want to know what the goals are for this dog? And I said, because I'm giving him to you to live here with you for 3 weeks. Okay. She says, well, I'll tell you right now, we're talking this pinch collar, shock collars, muzzles, and bark collars, and all this stuff. And I go, hey, you're the expert. If it keeps me from having to spend another $5,000 in medical bills on the dog because he calms down and he learns how to mind me, it's money well spent. If he doesn't attack another dog and kill another dog, so I have to pay for that and wreck someone else's life, it's money well spent. Then she looks at me and says, are you planning on keeping him? And I said, yeah. Yeah, emphatically, yes, I am. Wouldn't be here if I wasn't. He would have had a bullet in his head already. I wouldn't even be here. Of course I want to keep him. I think there's a good dog in there. I just don't know how to get the good dog out of him. I would love to see my good dog. I know he's in there. I believe in him. She says, okay. Well, she says, you got to go inside and sign him up for October. It was 95 degrees. And my car was sitting out in the sun. And I looked at her and I said, I got to put him in my car? She goes, well, yeah, you have to put him in your car. I said, you want me to put my dog in my car on a 95-degree day and go in there and wait my turn and then sign him up? Can I do it on the phone on my way home? Oh, well, yeah, you could call it and do it on your phone on the way home. I said, then I'm going to do that. So I took him. I bought the pinch collar. He's wearing it right now. I bought the pinch collar. I put him in the car. I have to chain him on another rope in the back to one of the seatbelt hooks so he doesn't try to climb on me while I'm driving. So he lets me do that, and I make the phone call as I'm driving away, and I said, yeah, and I get the answering machine, and so I leave a message. I was just talking to Alicia out in the parking lot. I have my dog Odin, and I want to sign him up for 3 weeks in board and train in October. Can you please call me back? And they didn't call me back. And you don't, if you don't return a phone call from someone that wants to give you $2,000, you're either stupid or you don't want the dog. and so we drove home, and I went. The next day they didn't call me back, and then he jumped on me and tried to bite me, and he bit me in the back, and I went, I'm getting a shock collar, and I ordered a shock collar, and Amazon brought it to me a couple days later, and a no bark collar, and the no bark collar took 1 shock, and he stopped barking. When you put it on, he doesn't bark, and he's wearing it right now. And no, I don't leave him. I leave these collars on him 24/7. I take them off. I only put the shock collar on when he goes outside. And now we're walking him out in the country. This coonhound that would love to kill anything he can catch. I'm walking him on this dirt road a half a mile for 2 hours a day. And when I call him, he returns. Comes right to me, and when he comes to me, I give him a treat. And so he gets rewarded when he does something good, and when he does something bad, like not come to me, there's a vibration feature on the shock collar that I can just make it vibrate, and he knows what's coming after the vibration if he doesn't listen, and he comes right back to me. So he's learning, and once he calms down, when he gets a little, if I have to leave the collar on him until he's 2 years old or whatever, when we do that, so what? So what? He's perfectly manageable. And when he's wearing the collar, he just kind of feels like, I better just do what he tells me to do. I better do what Rachel wants me to do. I misgendered myself. I call myself he. But he's thinking, I better just do what she wants me to do. And I think that most of the time he doesn't think of me as his mom. I think he thinks of me as his dad. So actually that was him misgendering me. It wasn't me, because I was putting words in his mouth. I do that a lot. I do that with a lot of people, not just dogs. Anyway, that was my funny story about the obedience school, who he will not be going to, because he does all kinds of neat tricks for me now and listens to me and doesn't get in any trouble anymore. And I think I figured it out. But it says work in progress. And I work with him every day. We spend time together down here watching TV, and then we go for long walks a couple hours a day, because now I don't have to worry about him getting his leg dirty. Before, I had to baby him and coddle him and keep him protected so he wouldn't get dirt on his leg, because it was a big open sore and it was slowly healing from the sides. And now he's all good, and so we go out and we run around, and I even let him dig for gophers sometimes. He's going to be fine, I'm going to be fine, and we're all going to be fine. And I'm glad that I'm back on here talking, and I have some more things to talk about, and so I will. But I'm going to stop this video now with a love and peace to all. And let's just try to take care of our dogs as best we can.